am Beck and welcome to the intimidating TBR tag. There are 10 questions and I'm going to be answering which books on my to be read pile are intimidating in 10 different ways. So let's get into them. Firstly, question 1 is, what is a book that you have been struggling to finish? And I've talked about this before, I just can't seem to finish it even though it's a reread, and that is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Her books are just so intensely emotional in the best way, and I just don't feel like I'm ready for that emotion. Even though I'm 180 pages into this book and I'm behind now on my reading challenge, it would suit me to pick this up and read it. I feel very chaotic about this book. I just need to get myself organized and then read it again. It really isn't that hard to pick it up again. I just need to finish like 20 to 50 pages every now and then I'll finish it. So why has it taken me this long when I know that it's going to be a 5 stars? I honestly don't know. Question 2 is, what is a book that you haven't read because you have not had the time? And for me, this is another reread, and that is the Way of Kings, or the whole Stormlight Archive reread, because, you know, the 5th book is coming out in December and it seems like I've got a lot of time, but I feel like I'm going to blink and it's going to be November. So I need to make sure that I actually try and read these. Again, I know that like the Robin Hobb book, when I read these, I'm going to be taking notes and everything so I can remember stuff. And I think because I know that it is going to be an involved reread, I'm hyping it up in my mind to myself and going, oh, this is going to be hard. So instead of tackling this, I'm looking at other easier books to read that are shorter on my to be read pile. And I'm like, I've read these multiple times. It is not going to take me that long. I think I just need to suck it up and start these. And when I start them, I'll realize how good they are, and then they'll just fly by. At least that is my optimistic look at them. Maybe it will take me longer than I think, because each book is 1,000 pages long. I know I can do it. I've reread them all before, so it can't be that hard, seriously. Question 3 is, what is a book you have yet to read because it is a sequel? And you've probably seen this sitting on my cart for many months now, and that is City of Blades, which is the sequel to City of Stairs. But I feel like it's also potentially a companion, given that apparently it's set 5 years after City of Stairs. So I'm planning to start this in April, coincidentally. The writing is small, it's got like 500 pages. It is deceptive, all right? It doesn't look like it's that long, but I feel like it's going to take me a little while. So I don't know, maybe I need some sort of plan. Robert Jackson Bennett books, they tend to be a slow pull-in. They are descriptive and they are informative. They are sardonic and very subtle with their humor. And I feel like because this is partly like a mystery, it's going to hook me. It's obviously going to hook me. I like his writing style and I liked City of Stairs, and I'm enjoying Foundry Side as well. So I think I'm going to really like this when I start it. I don't know why I've put it off for this long. Why am I so intimidated? Question 4 is, what is a book that you haven't started yet because it is brand new? And ironically, I just talked about Robert Jackson Bennett, but he also published The Tainted Cup this year in February. And I'm like, I need to finish the other stuff by him that I own before I buy something else. Partly it's because I can't really afford to go out and do book hauls at the moment, so I've just let it kind of sit there tantalizing me. I also just really want to go out and buy it. I'm holding myself back. You know, like Timon and Pumbaa, when Pumbaa is holding Timon's tail back, like I want to do a book haul and I can't. So I'm just eyeing that off from a distance, like, that sounds really cool. I think it's about a person who gets murdered and mushrooms or trees jump out of his chest and that's how he dies. It's like very nature but alien. So I'm looking forward to that kind of magical fantasy murder mystery. I just really like murder mystery and crime stuff when it's also set in a fantasy or sci-fi setting. So I think The Tainted Cup has potential to be fantastic. When I'm reading books this year, I'm in a massive reading slump. I put down more books in March than I finished. So I'm like, I know that I'm probably going to enjoy The Tainted Cup. I just want to go out and buy it, but I'm holding myself back. Question 5 is, what book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and you didn't love it? I'm going to put Play of Shadows by Sebastian de Castell for this question because I do have Crucible of Chaos behind me on my to be read cart, and it seemed like suddenly Sebastian de Castell has all of these books out where in the past like year and a half there have been constant shifting release dates for his books. So I feel like a bit plot twisted because of his releases, but I also know that I didn't love The Malevolent Seven by him, and that makes me really nervous. I also didn't love the final book in the Argosy series. And you know, I say I don't read young adult very often, but I quite like his writing style and I liked that series. But the last book in the series was only a 3 and I was hoping for at least a 4. And then The Malevolent Seven, I started at a 4 and it's gone like down to a 2 on retrospect. So I'm like, am I going to enjoy Crucible of Chaos, which is a Greatcoats continuation? So I know Play of Shadows then is a sequel to Crucible of Chaos. So there's a lot going on in there. I'm really hoping that I ultimately enjoy Crucible of Chaos chaos. So I then enjoy Play of Shadows, but I'm now nervous. Then we've got question 6, which is, what is a book that you have yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? And If I Never Met You would definitely be front and center for this question, because it is a fake dating romance and I love romance, but I just have not been in the mood to pick this one up. So it's just sat on my to be read cart looking nice and pretty and it's bright colored, and I haven't reached for it. And I think that's partly to do with potentially the weather, because I realized that I mood read to the weather and the season more often than I thought I did. But I don't know, maybe I just need this in between a bunch of fantasy series that I've started or something, and it will like cleanse my palate. I don't know. I do plan on getting to it around April, May. So cross your fingers that that actually happens, because it would be great to not have this on my to be read card anymore. And then question 7 is, what is a book you have yet to read because it is humongous? And I would like to share with you The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. I have read this 5-book series. All of them are like 800 to 900 pages each. That's over 24 hours each audiobook, which is insane to me. But there is so much discussion about these books and the protagonist Kip being annoying. I read them for, discovering the plot and the experience when I first went through them, but now that I kind of know the story, to be fair, I have forgotten a lot, but now that I'm familiar, I guess, with the grounding work of this book, I would very much like to go back and reread them. I've got all the audiobooks as well, so it would be easy to do if I want to clean my house at the same time. It will probably take me like a year if I just listened to it while I was cleaning the house. But anyway, these are huge. I'm nervous about them. I know that they will take me a lot of time on audio to finish as well. So I do eventually want to reread them, but I just have not made time to do it because I've had other rereads taking priority, like Robin Hobb and Brandon Sanderson. So these are very much on the back burner, but they are clocked on my radar. So at some point they will happen. Now, question 8 is, what is a book you haven't read yet? Because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews, and I haven't actually bought this book yet, but it's making me concerned. So I've borrowed it with Libby. The hold is gonna take me ages, so I won't get to this anytime soon, but it is A Tempest of Tea. And this one is on Goodreads at like 3.78 or something instead of 4 or over. So I thought I might rate this like a 4 or a 5. But seeing everyone's reviews of it, and thankfully I haven't seen spoilers because, going through a Goodreads list of reviews is like playing roulette. So thankfully I haven't seen any spoilers about this book, but I have seen people just being like subpar about it, giving it like 3s or 4s in their ratings. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't hype this up to myself as much as I think, because it sounds really cool. A cozy fantasy setting with a bar that at nighttime turns into a den for vampires. Awesome, right? So I'm really hoping that this is pulled off correctly. But again, now I've seen reviews and stuff, I'm nervous. And this is why I wait now. I wait to see what the reviews are like before I go out and buy books. And it's really helped quell all of my urge to get a massive TBR again. Not that I can afford to, but generally it's curbed that habit of going out and buying everything, because at one point I had over 200 books on my to be read pile just because I wouldn't research them first, and that turned out very stressful. Now I have obviously under 20 books on my to be read pile, which works much better, I think. And then finally, the last question 10, what is the most intimidating book on your to be read pile? And easily, even though I don't actually physically have it, so I can't show you how thick it is, I would say that book is The Will of the Many by James Islington. And this is a high epic Roman inspired fantasy. And I don't know how I'm going to feel about his writing style. I've tried him before and I found it just meh, and I wish I didn't end up finishing that book, but I got it years ago for review on my blog, so I felt compelled to finish it. In this case, I've got the ebook, and I hope that I end up liking it, because obviously as a writer he's had space and years to grow within the time that I've read his previous work. So I'm hopeful that this will be great, but it still could just conceptually not be something that I enjoy. So I'm looking at the 5-star reviews, and I'm hoping that I also join that club when I eventually read it. The aim is to finish it between now and end of July. I'll let you know what happens. Hopefully I end up reading it. But that is all at the moment for my intimidating to be read pile. I thankfully don't have too many books on my physical to be read pile, but that somehow makes this tag a little bit harder because I have to go out and look at all the new releases and kind of try and temper my hopes for the future. But anyway, let me know if you have anything intimidating on your to be read pile in the comments. I would be interested to know. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'll come chat to you down below in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.